in a dramatic turn during the budget session of Parliament, the Lok Sabha was plunged into an uproar following an unusual confrontation between the leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi and the Treasury benches over his attempt to quote from an unpublished military memoir authored by former Chief of Air Staff General M.M. Narwane, referenced in the Karma magazine. As proceedings were underway on the motion of thanks to the President's address, Rahul Gandhi rose to voice his views on national security and foreign policy. But almost within moments, the atmosphere in the House changed sharply when he began quoting from the article in the Karwa magazine that carried excerpts from a yet-to-be-published memoir by General M.M. Narwane titled 4 Stars of Destiny.
This is from the memoir of Army Chief Narwane. And I'd like you to listen nicely. You will understand exactly who is patriotic, who is not. It'll take a little while. So this is about when 4 Chinese tanks were entering Indian territory. They were taking a ridge in Doklam, and the army chief writes, and I quote from an article that is quoting his book. The tanks were within a few hundred meters of Indian positions on the Kailash range.
No, sir, no, sir, no, sir. No, we only started. No, he is not yielding. He is not yielding.
This is from the memoir of Army Chief.
Well, as you can see, the disruption was immediate. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh objected that the book had not yet been published and raised concerns about the propriety of quoting unpublished material inside the Parliament. He pressed Rahul Gandhi to clarify whether the memoir was in the public domain or not. Joining the chaos, Home Minister Amit Shah backed this objection, asking how an unpublished book or a magazine article based on it could be used as a source in a parliamentary debate. Speaker Om Birla also intervened repeatedly, citing parliamentary rules that restrict references to unpublished material or unauthenticated reports during debates. He ruled that books, newspaper clippings or magazine articles unrelated to the House proceedings could not be quoted on the floor. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju also raised procedural objections urging adherence to established norms, while some BJP MPs pressed that this was a matter of decorum and discipline in the House.
This is from the memoir of Army Chief Narwane. And I'd like you to listen nicely. You will understand exactly who is patriotic, who is not. It'll take a little while. So this is about when 4 Chinese tanks were entering Indian territory. They were taking a ridge in Doklam, and the army chief writes, and I quote from an article that is quoting his book. The tanks were within a few hundred meters of Indian positions on the Kailash range.
No, sir, no, sir, no, sir. No, we only started. No, he is not yielding. He is not yielding. He is only starting.
क्या वह पुस्तक प्रकाशित हुई है जिसमें यह सब सारी बातें उन्होंने लिखी हैं? यदि प्रकाशित हुई है तब तो आप उसका उल्लेख करिए, नहीं प्रकाशित हुई है तो उल्लेख करने का कोई औचित्य नहीं है। अध्यक्ष महोदय,
जो सम्मानीय सदस्य ने कहा वो सत्य नहीं है। तेजस्वी सूर्या ने कांग्रेस के शासन के समय के 4 से 14 के राष्ट्रपति अभिभाषणों का जिक्र किया और उसमें कहा कि इसमें कहीं पर भी इस प्रकार के शब्द मिले नहीं हैं। वो इसको डिस्प्यूट कर सकते हैं, राष्ट्रपति अभिभाषणों का रेफरेंस देकर कि भाई 5 के अभिभाषण में है। अरे सुनो ना, अभी आगे सुनो, मुझे सुनो। और 349 को एक कोट कर रहे हैं कि अगर बिजनेस के रेफरेंस में मैगजीन है, आज के बिजनेस का रेफरेंस है राष्ट्रपति का अभिभाषण, महामहिम द्रौपदी मुर्मू का अभिभाषण। वो अभिभाषण के मुद्दे पर कोई आर्टिकल है जिसको वो कोट करना चाहते हैं, वो भी 359 के साथ में पढ़कर कर सकते हैं। एलिगेशन लगाने से पहले यहाँ पर उनको चेतावनी देनी पड़ती है माननीय अध्यक्ष, 24 घंटा पहले।
आप सदन में प्रतिपक्ष के नेता हैं, पूर्व में भी अनुभव रहा है। सांसद प्रियंका गांधी जी ने भी एक बात बोली थी तो उन्होंने ऑथेंटिक उस किताब को यहाँ पर टेबल पे किया। मेरा जो रक्षा मंत्री जी ने जो विषय उठाया है उसमें कहना है कि हम जो बोलें उसको ऑथेंटिक कर सकें, उसी विषय को सदन के पटल पर ये मर्यादा बना के रखें।
Discussion grew so intense that the Lok Sabha was adjourned multiple times, with shouts and counter-shouts from both Treasury and opposition benches, and business proceedings halted for the day. So what is this book that triggered the row? The memoir 4 Stars of Destiny was written by General M.M. Narawane, former Chief of Army Staff, and reportedly deals with strategic decisions and key moments during his tenure, including India's border standoffs with China, such as the 2020 Galwan clash and the Eastern Ladakh tension. Though widely discussed in political and media circles, the book has not been officially published due to pending security clearances from the Ministry of Defence. Portions of its contents have appeared in media reports that cited the unpublished draft. The article in question appeared in the Karma, a well-known long-form journalism magazine. It draws on the portions of the draft memoir of former Indian Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Narawane titled 4 Stars of Destiny, a book that has not yet been released publicly because it is still undergoing security clearance. According to the report, the memoir offers a rare insider account of India's handling of high-stakes border tensions with neighboring China, including the 2017 Doklam standoff and the 2020 Galwan Valley clash in eastern Ladakh. The article describes a critical moment in August 2020 when Chinese armoured units were advancing towards Indian positions in the Kailash Range area. Indian field commanders believed the only way to stop the advance was open fire with artillery. Because that action could have triggered a full-scale war with China, the army chief sought clear political instructions from the highest level of government. The report says General Narawane made repeated calls to senior ministers and national security officials asking one basic question: what are my orders? But for a significant period, no firm directive was given. What makes this episode controversial is the claim that when the Prime Minister was consulted, he did not issue a specific order to fire or not to fire, but instead left the decision to the army chief, effectively telling him to decide as he saw fit. The article argues that this was not simply a tactical choice, but a movement of political responsibility. It says decisions that could lead to war are meant to be taken by elected civilian leaders, not delegated entirely to military commanders. By leaving the call to the army chief, the report suggests the political leadership avoid taking direct ownership of the risk of escalation. The article then turns to the Galwan clash of June 2020. It challenges the idea that the clash was sudden or unavoidable. It says Chinese troops' movements and aggressive posturing had been building for weeks and that Indian commanders in the sector were unprepared and slow to recognize the scale of the threat. According to the report, intelligence and early warnings were not fully acted upon, which contributed to the deadly confrontation. On the disengagement process that followed, the article focuses on the creation of so-called buffer zones along the line of actual control. It says these zones reduced the chance of immediate clashes but also meant that Indian troops stopped patrolling certain areas that they had previously accessed. In practical terms, the reports argue that this amounted to a loss of control over some contested grounds, and even though it was not officially described as a territorial loss. The report also questions how these developments were communicated to Parliament and the public. It says the government did not hold detailed briefings on what had changed on the ground and avoided acknowledging the strategic cost of disengagement. According to the article, the official public narrative projected stability and success, while the internal military reality was far more complex and considering. A key theme running through the report is civil-military relations. It argues that the crisis exposed a gap between political authority and military responsibility. The army was expected to manage a potentially explosive situation with China, but without receiving unambiguous political direction at the most dangerous moment. The article frames this as a form of political abdication rather than delegation, suggesting that instead of elected leaders making the hardest calls, the burden was shifted onto the army chief. Taken together, the article makes three central claims. First, that India came closer to war with China than was publicly acknowledged. Second, that the military was left to manage this border without clear political ownership. And third, that the disengagement that followed quietly changed the status quo on the ground. These assertions, drawn from a former army chief's unpublished memoir, are what transformed a magazine report into a parliamentary flashpoint. However, while the opposition quotes a report on an unpublished memoir, General M.M. Narawane has on the record given several accounts of India's victory against China in the Galwan clashes. Listen in.
India as a country showed to the world that it is possible to take on that neighborhood bully, as is the case everywhere. Whether it is a school bully or a neighborhood bully, you have to stand up to him sometime or the other. Right. We showed it can be done.
The controversy isn't just procedural. It reflects a broader political battle over the transparency in the national security and civil-military relations. Opposition leaders argue that insights from a senior former army chief on key strategic episodes are in the public interest, while the government maintains that parliamentary debate must adhere to rules and avoid reliance on unverified sources. And at the heart of the debate is a stark question. If a former army chief's memoir suggests that a prime minister instructed a senior commander with something akin to decide as you see fit in a time of crisis, is that a breach of civilian oversight or merely a different style of political military coordination? I believe that giving free hand to the army chief was the right thing to do. If we look at the way Uri, Balakot and Sindoor operations proceeded, Prime Minister Modi always gave free hand to the armed forces. He has always allowed armed forces to make independent choices. It shows Modi is not a micromanager. He allows head to make decisions independently and they enjoy a free hand during operations.
Operation Sindoor was the best example of tri-service synergy under clear-cut political directive and full freedom to act or respond. Operation Sindoor was the best example of tri-service synergy under clear-cut political directive and full freedom to act or respond.
मेरे हाथ में एक मैगजीन है, उस मैगजीन में आर्टिकल है, उसको मैं कोट कर रहा हूं। सर, राष्ट्रपति का जो भाषण है वो देश में क्या सिचुएशन है, देश कहां जा रहा है, देश को क्या करना चाहिए, देश की पॉलिसीज क्या होनी चाहिए, फॉरेन पॉलिसी, चाइना, पाकिस्तान, ग्लोबल सिचुएशन, इन चीजों के बारे में। अब उधर आपके एक मेंबर ने कहा कि हम देशभक्त नहीं हैं, तो मैं सिर्फ उसका जवाब देना चाहता हूं क्योंकि यहाँ पे नरवणे जी ने कहा है, नो आई एम नॉट, मुझे बोलने नहीं दे रहे हैं, मुझे बस 2-3 लाइन बोलनी है, उसमें सब पता लग जाएगा, बट वो बोलने नहीं दे रहे हैं। मैं कह रहा हूँ कि इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ नेशनल सिक्योरिटी। These are the words of Army Chief, serious leader of our forces, and it's a conversation that he has had with Rajnath Singh ji and also with Mr. Narendra Modi. All I'm saying is that I want to say in the House what the Army Chief has written. बस वही मैं बोलना चाह रहा हूँ, आर्मी चीफ ने क्या बोला है, मोदी जी ने उनसे क्या कहा, राजनाथ सिंह जी ने उनसे क्या कहा, क्या ऑर्डर दिया, मैं पार्लियामेंट हाउस में बोलना चाहता हूँ। पता नहीं इतने क्यों डरे हुए हैं। द पॉइंट हियर इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट द प्राइम मिनिस्टर सेड एंड व्हाट राजनाथ सिंह जी सेड, दैट इज द पॉइंट हियर, right? Whether the land was taken or not, that's a different question. We'll come to that. But before we come to that, the leader of the country is supposed to give direction. The leader of the country is not supposed to run away from decisions and leave decisions onto other people's shoulders. That is what the Prime Minister has done.
मुझे लगता है कि राहुल गांधी जानबूझ के ये काम कर रहे हैं हमारा देश का आर्मी का मनोबल को गिराने के लिए। हमारा देश का विदेश नीति, रक्षा नीति जो बहुत ही संवेदनशील होते हैं उसको वो हल्कापन, मजाक के तौर पर दुनिया के सामने में पेश करना चाहते हैं। रक्षा मंत्री और आर्मी चीफ के बीच में क्या बात होता है, रक्षा मंत्री प्रधानमंत्री का बीच में क्या बात होता है, ये कोई सार्वजनिक घोषणा करके बताने का चीज़ होता है क्या? इसलिए मैं समझता हूँ कि राहुल गांधी ने ऐसा नहीं है वो बचपना नादान में ऐसा कर रहे, ऐसा नहीं है। ये सोची समझी एक षड्यंत्र है कि भारत को बदनाम करने के लिए। हमने 2 बार मौका दिया कि आप जो भी बात करना चाहते हैं बात कर सकते हैं, हम सुनने के लिए तैयार हैं।